Hello, everyone. Welcome to TSAM Digital. My name is Anna, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Steve Gauthier, the EVP of Corporate Strategy and Business Relationship Development at Finance Montreal. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much. Steve, to begin with, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Finance Montreal?
All right, very good. So I've been working for Finance Montreal for the last 14 years. I'm responsible for the international team. So my role essentially is to help foreign-based institutions to locate activities up here in Montreal. The long story short about Finance Montreal, it's an association. We have 52 members, the big Canadian banks, the big Canadian pension funds, the universities like McGill here up here. Essentially, it's to work together towards a greater good. So when there is a common problem, we find a common solution. So we are here to grow the industry, to improve the industry, to be organized in our outreach for international institutions, to make our ecosystem stronger and larger.
That's really fantastic. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I know that Finance Montreal has been successful in directly or indirectly attracting and helping grow over 200 international financial services companies in Montreal. Can you elaborate on some of the types of functions that thrive in Montreal for financial institutions?
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Finance Montreal, we no longer talk in terms of offshoring or nearshoring. This is to us so 2019, so old. We talk more about talent hub. Come up here, don't overlook Canada, don't overlook Montreal for talent, pure talent. When you benchmark Montreal with Boston, for example, we're almost the same kind of expertise, same kind of technology, same size as a Boston financial ecosystem. In recent years, the big hot tickets up here are ESG. For example, based in London, the IFRS, they chose Montreal for their North American ISSB, International Sustainability Standard Board. So Montrealers will enact in the coming years all the accounting rules to take sustainable finance into mainstream in the short term. So ESG, we have a ready ecosystem here that is very useful and ready, again, for all the asset manager, all the attendees to the conference to have a strategy how to implement ESG in their functions. So data is also a big ticket up here. Data management, I would say risk management. We have successes in terms of firms choosing Montreal for risk management, for global risk. Also to integrate also more and more ESG risk into their risk function. Share services in general. So we have big platforms serving the US or on the follow the sun with Europe and Asia. We have AI also that is a hot ticket up here because Canada is a powerhouse in AI, in STEM, in STEM fields of study. So those are, as you can see, really talent-oriented, tech-oriented hub in Montreal. And we have the luxury to be a G7 mature international hub, but yet unsaturated for talent. So that's why if you have a talent shortage in your main office, think of Montreal, don't overlook Canada as a short-term, long-term solution for talent.
Absolutely. And it sounds like a thrilling place to be, and you have a really strong ecosystem built there. And that's wonderful. I wanted to sort of ask also, can you briefly maybe elaborate as to what attracted these financial institutions to Montreal?
Yeah, well, it's all related to talent somehow. I would say that what differentiates Montrealers with many people in North America is that we have up here what I call an operational excellence. We like to manage with rigor. We like to optimize at scale. Up here, I mentioned it before, data is also a big field of interest because we have about 20,000 people working in data in financial services here. So again, If you need to do data normalization modeling, it's the place to be. Creativity is a big differentiator. Creativity for user experience. Why is it so? It's because first, Montreal is an entrepreneurial city. Second, it's a hard mindset. We like the art up here. So we're part of this nice location between Americas and Europe. We have a British, a French heritage. At the same time, we have North American. We are North American. So the art is part of the DNA of the people up here. So we have this creative business environment to be able to optimize your user experience globally. Financial engineering also is a big ticket. I could add also quantum computing. Okay, quantum is maybe for the long term, but for the short term, we have quasi-quantum capabilities developed here for the financial industry. And again, AI is a big ticket for the last 15, 20 years. Montreal has been a powerhouse for AI development. So in a nutshell, what does it mean? It means that you have a high quality talent, and the unknown story so far that I haven't told you yet is the very reasonable cost that you will find here in Montreal. So you have tier 1 talent at below a tier 2 cost to operate. So that makes the bottom line of why Montreal makes sense is this unique opportunity of talent at a reasonable cost, well-connected, multilingual, North American, at the same time, very open to Europe and to other countries.
It really sounds like a great opportunity. Lastly, I sort of wanted to ask also, since you mentioned large financial institutions, could you also maybe provide the audience with some of the institutions that have created talent hubs in Montreal?
Yeah, the largest client that we have up here is Morgan Stanley. They have about 2,800 people. It's one of their, maybe the largest tech center that they have, or the second largest. And that's another good example. Montrealers work very well with New Yorkers, but also Morgan Stanley works follow the sun model. You will have, for example, in shared services, BNP Paribas, a French bank. Again, it's a nearshore talent hub for the Americas, but again, with some follow the sun for Europe, like Risk, for example. They do Risk also for Paris. And they do handle also cybersecurity up here, as well as first line and second line cybersecurity. And if I may come back to Morgan Stanley, they do everything in Montreal. They have often the opportunity to start with a white page, and they draft the first steps of a solution, and then the solution stays to be developed in Montreal, or it is shipped somewhere else. But again, Montrealers will have the opportunity to work on AI, cybersecurity, quant, data, whatever. Another example in recent years was Manulife. They chose Montreal for data analytics. We have Maples Group. Maybe it's a smaller outfit, but they chose Montreal also for in that respect for compliance and AML. And again, right now, my team is working hard with a lot of large banks to submit Montreal as a candidate to help them to implement their ESG strategy, sustainable finance. And again, we have data in the community about the labor force that we can have, the expertise, and we bring this information and data and quality to our prospects. And again, the big ticket for this year and next year will be ESG for banks and asset managers, among other things.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Steve, today. It's been really wonderful speaking with you. Do you have any final words to share with the audience?
Well, no, essentially, I'll be attending the conference in London on June 16th, so I look forward to meet several of you. And again, a big thank you, Anna, for your collaboration this morning. And my final word will be to not to overlook Montreal as I would say a talent hub for the 21st century.
Thank you so much, Steve.
You're welcome. Thank you.